sitting on our ball and just have your hand weights kind of nearby. So we're going to just start in that seated position, feet about shoulder width distance apart, so you have a good base of support with your feet, and we're just going to start to find a light little bounce. Once you feel like you're good, solid on your ball, you have that ball underneath you and you've got a fair amount of control, if it's available, if it feels comfortable to do so, hands rest on your thighs, close your eyes down, and just for a moment, pay attention to your breath. Watch your inhalation, watch your exhalation. Two more cycles of breath, keeping that bounce if it feels comfortable. Nice, and then when you're ready, stop that bouncing, hands are gonna come forward, find the knees, stop that bouncing. That sounded sharp. Let that bouncing come to a stillness. Hands find your knees and then move into a little cat and cow here. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin in. Beautiful. Move that with your breath. Inhale as you lift and exhale as you round. Take a few more cycles of breath here. The next time your heart comes forward and your chin lifts, stay there for an extra second. Just find a nice little stretch through the front of the neck and the throat. Inhale, and then on the next exhale, round your back, stay there for an extra second. Tuck your chin into your chest. Notice the back of the neck, the space between your shoulders, and maybe even pay attention to the breath in the backside of your ribs. Awesome. And then come up to a nice neutral spine, grab your hand weights, and then we're going to just toe heel the feet out just a little bit so we have access to that inner thigh area. And then we're going to let one hand and weight rest on the top of the thigh. Other hand is going to come inside. So we're going to take that elbow inside of that inner thigh and then take it into 8 bicep curls here. So we're just pulling that weight up to the shoulder, lowering it back down with control, and see if you can maintain the same pace coming up as going down. Nice. 3 more to go. Last one. Pick it up, rest that hand on your thigh, right over to the other side. So back of the arm to the inner thigh and into those bicep curls there. Last one here. Arm lowers down, lift up, and now we're going to take both hands to the outside, and you can rearrange your legs if you need to, but think farmer's carry. So we're going to keep those weights about 4 inches away from the ball, and then a controlled rotation. So you're not going to get far. You're going to hit that point where you're going to hit your knee. So don't hit your knee. Keep those arms extended out away from the ball, and we're working on just controlling the midsection of the body. Beautiful. One more little twist side to side, and then we're going to come back to center, but keep those arms out and away from the side of the ball, and then reach down like you're trying to pick something off the ground, bring it back up over to the other side. See if you can find most of your work here coming out of the side body. So you might hit this point where your hips kind of want to move with you so you can do it. Try to let all of the work come from the side body and the upper torso. Nice. One more time each side, or even yourself out. And then as you come back up to center, we're going to keep those arms out at the side and lift them out to shoulder height, lower them back to that hover position. Lift them up and out. And then as you find this work here, think about reaching through your knuckles. So you're reaching your knuckles to the side walls, lowering it back down, but hover. Yes, reach it out, reach through your knuckles, lower it down and hover. We got 4 more to go here. Last one, keep them out, flip the palms facing out towards the wall in front of you, and bend your elbows, hug a tree. Open it out, keep your elbows bent, come in, hug a tree. Yes, open it out, in for a hug, open it out, in for a hug. We got 4 more to go here. Last one. Woo, beautiful work. Okay, set those weights down off to the side. Give your arms a little shake. And then we want just make sure that there's a clear space in front of you because we're going to start to find our little roll on our ball. So step your feet in so that they're about hip width distance apart, maybe slightly wider. Just find a good position that you've got control of. And then we're going to just start to find the tailbone. So we're going to come to that upright seat and then curl the tailbone under so that the tailbone scoops underneath the ball. And then pull it right back up. And as you come up, think about reaching through the crown of your head. So we lift up energetically through the spine. Nice. One more time, just like that, just finding the tailbone and then coming back up. And now we're going to go a little bit further. So your feet are going to move with you. You're going to find that low back. Feet are going to step in with you, upright spine. Beautiful. Step the feet forward, find the low back, step the feet in, upright spine. Nice. Two more just like that. Last one. And now we're going to go a little bit further. So we're going to walk the feet even further, find that low back, middle back. So the chest is still slightly lifted. Walk it back in, lift up through the crown of your head. Step it forward, find the low back, middle back, step it back in, lift your head. Beautiful. Two more to go just like that. Last one. And now we're going to come back up, but now we're going to step it out and stay there. So we're going to walk it out to a point that you feel like your low back and middle back is on the ball. Hands are going to come behind the head. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, contract the abdominal muscles. Find a little crunch. Beautiful. Inhale to lean back. Exhale, contract the abdominal muscles. Contract as you reach up. Inhale and relax the muscles as you lean back, and then just find a good pace here that works good for you and that you've got control of. Two more to go here. Beautiful. Lean back over the ball just a little bit. So we are going to come to a deeper back bend eventually, but just for a moment here, just keeping your hands behind your head, let your elbows get a little bit heavy. Feel that nice little gentle stretch through the front of the body. Take a nice big breath. Cool. Now we're going to take an exhale. And as you exhale, you're going to curl up slightly and then hold that curled up position. Release your hands from behind your head. So arms are going to come out at the side, palms facing up. And now we're going to add a little bit of oblique work. So we're going to reach towards the side of the knee, keeping that nice upright lifted chest, keeping the abdominal muscles contracted. Yes, nice. One more reach each side, and then come back, hands behind the head, lean over the ball, a little bit of a soft back bend, just take a breath. Inhale, and then on the next exhale, contract the abdominal muscles, lift all the way on up. We're going to keep our butt closer to that front end of the ball, but now, so we're in a little bit of a seated position, but we're butts way forward. Step your feet to a nice wide configuration, and then we're folding forward. So make sure your butt stays on the ball. Make sure it's good and secure underneath you. If you need to readjust, do that readjustment so that you're not just letting it slip out from underneath you. And then once you've got this folded position, hands touch the floor, shins, whatever feels good, soften the back of your body. So there's a little bit of a rounding through your back. Let your head drop down. Take 3 nice deep breaths. When you're ready, slow and steady, walk yourself back up to that upright position. And now we're going to take that big back bend. So we're going to lean back over the ball. Start by just letting your hands extend up and overhead. This might be enough for you. Take a moment to just tune in. Notice how your body feels. And then if it feels like you want that bigger bit of work, you're going to sort of scoot yourself back so your hands find the floor behind you. Step your feet into a comfortable position, and then you might already be there. This might be enough of a back bend for you. If this feels good, you want that extra bit of work, you're going to think about pushing into your hands, pushing into your feet, pushing your butt away from the ball. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, relax your butt into the ball with control. Come all the way up to a seated position. Take your time as you come up. Make sure the ball feels secure underneath you. Feet are about shoulder width distance apart. Take it into a twist. Left hand's going to reach across to the right knee. Right hand comes behind you. One more breath. And then take it over to the other side. Twist over the other way. Use your knee as a little bit of leverage. One more breath. Nice. And then unwind, come back to center. We're going to lean forward. Hands are going to find the ground. And then we're going to take 3 lifts of the butt. So you're going to lift your butt up away from the ball and then bend your knees and let your butt touch down. Lift your butt up away from the ball, bend your knees and let your butt touch down. Nice. Lift your butt away from the ball. Keep that butt lifted. Bend your knees just a little bit. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll all the way up to a standing position. And then we're going to take that ball around so that it's facing in front of us. Nicely done. Okay, so hands onto the ball, and we're going to walk back to a little bit of a down dog situation. So we're going to keep our hands on the ball, walk yourself back or walk your ball forward, whatever your space allows, and then create a little space that your head can drop between your arms, and we make a little V shape with the body. So butt is back, legs are fairly straight, but you can always micro bend the knees, especially if you have super tight hamstrings. So just make sure you do a position that feels like a nice stretch in the shoulders and through the back of the body. One more breath. Soften your knees, lift your head, come up with control. And then we're going to keep the ball in front and see if you can just get it to stay stationary. Like see if you can get it to just stay in a single position. And then we're just going to use it as a landmark, but we're not going to touch it. So we're just going to find a standing position, hands nice and active out at your sides. And then we're just going to pick one knee up, hold it for a second, set it down. Pick one knee up, and you want to imagine that you're stepping that foot as high as the top of the ball, but then hold it for a second. So we want to bring a little strength into the hip flexor muscles. Lift the knee and hold, set it down. Lift the other knee and hold, set it down. Beautiful. Lift your other knee and hold, set it down. One more time each side. Lift and hold, set it down. Last one, lift and hold, and set it down. Nice. And now we're going to bring elbows and forearms onto the ball, find a little stability there first, see how the ball feels, and then can you start to play around, broadening your shoulders? Can you step your feet back? So maybe you're in a bit of a hovering table position, or can you step them all the way back and find yourself a little plank? Find the position that you can sustain. We're going to hold it there for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring your knees down with control. Pull that ball nice and tight up against your belly, and then we're going to lean over the ball. So think drape over the ball. Just let your whole body relax over the ball. Let the ball be a little compression against your belly, and then check back in with your breath. Take a nice big inhale. Feel the breath in the back of your body and your ribs and your shoulder blades. One more nice big breath here. And then with control, so hands are going to find the ball, push into the ball, lift yourself up. I'm going to rearrange myself just so I have a little space to move, but we're going to take it into a plank with the ball underneath the belly and the hips. So place that ball in a way that you can secure it underneath your abdomen, and then hands are going to find the ground. Walk yourself out to a point that feels good. So if you've got shoulder stuff, you might choose to keep a little bit more weight to the back half of your body. But if you're looking to find that bit of control, walk yourself out to a point that feels good. My toes are lifted off the ground, but yours might not be. But now we want to firm up the back of the body. So broaden the shoulders, looking down at the floor, and we're going to take it into some swims with the legs. So one leg is going to lift and then the other. but the upper part of the body is going to stay as stationary as it can. So we want to squeeze the glutes, squeeze and reach through the backs of the legs. Yes, beautiful work, you guys. Nice. Now that you've got that maneuver down, can you keep the upper body pretty stable, but pick up the pace with those legs? Awesome. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And then we're going to roll ourselves back so that the knees find the ground, but we're going to lean over that ball just a little bit. We're going to get some work into the back body. So you're going to lean yourself forward just a little bit. Make sure the ball is comfortable underneath you. Hands are going to come behind the head. We're going to drape over the ball. Use those back body muscles. Squeeze and lift the chest up. Beautiful. Round slightly over the ball. Use the back muscles. Squeeze and lift up. Nice. We got 6 more to go here. Last one. And then as you round over that ball, let your hands release, come back to that nice soft position. So just let your body drape over the ball and come back to your breath. Nice, generous inhale and a super slow exhale. Take one more breath here. Awesome. When you're ready, hands are going to find the ball. Gently push your way up, off and away. We're going to come down onto our back and the ball is going to be underneath our legs. So spin yourself around so that you can throw your legs up and over the ball. Nice. And then once you get yourself down on the ground with your feet over the ball, we want to find a position where our heels can kind of push into the ball. So start there just by finding that little push. Arms down at your sides, maybe palms facing down so we engage the backs of the arms, keep the upper body solid. But now we're just pumping those heels. So push the heels down into the ball and then let them release. Four more pumps of the ball. And now we're going to push the heels into the ball, lift your tailbone about an inch away from the floor. So you're going to feel the hamstrings, those back of the thigh muscles fire up, and then release the tailbone down, soften your heels. Push your heels down, lift your tailbone about an inch away from the floor, lower your tailbone, relax your heels. Push your heels down, lift your butt, lower down, relax your heels. One more here. Push your heels down, lift the tailbone up, lower the tailbone down, let your heels relax. Now we're going to push the heels into the ball, maintain that, lift your hips up nice and high or as high as you can control, hold it and hover for a moment, come down nice and slow and controlled. As you do this work here, pay attention. One hip might want to drive the truck. So see if you can get both hips, both knees and inner thighs working at the same even pace. So it might slow you down a little bit. Push into your heels, lift your hips up. See if you can find that sense of control, both hips, thighs, knees moving at that same pace. Lower back down with control. Beautiful. 2 more here. Push into the heels, lift your hips nice and high. Lower it with control. Last one. Push into the heels, lift the hips nice and high. And lower with control. Awesome job. Walk that ball in just a little bit closer so the calves are resting on the ball. Hands are going to come out a little bit wider and we're going to come into some light oblique twists. So we're just going to start with that little gentle rock side to side just to find that movement. And then you're just going to let the knees dip slightly further to the point where you feel the obliques fire up, and then bring it right over to the other side. One more time each side. And then as you come back to center, you're going to step your feet to the outer edges of the ball. So we're going to get that wide hold and then see if you can pick that ball up with your legs, bring it up towards the sky. And then you're just going to check your knees. So if that bending of the knees doesn't feel good, if the ball is too wide or too small and it feels like it creates a little bit of funky position with your knees, then you might choose to just keep the ball on your ground and then just bend, touch the ball and straighten it up. But if it feels available to hold on to that ball between your ankles, 4 more to go. Cool. And now we're going to keep that ball lifted. We're going to put a little bit of a squeeze on the ball so we just get the inner thighs firing up. And then imagine you're trying to push the ball up towards the ceiling and then release your tailbone back down. Push the ball up towards the ceiling and release. Push the ball up towards the ceiling and release. Push the ball up and release. 4 more to go. Last one. We're going to keep that ball up in the air, a light engagement in the inner thighs, but now reach your hands up straight from your chest. Keep that little bit of a squeeze, pull the abdomen down, reach your fingertips up towards the ball, touch, lower back with control. Exhale as you lift and touch. Inhale to release back down. Beautiful. 6 more to go here. Last one. Head and chest come down, bend your knees, float that ball down to the ground. And now we're going to step our feet off and start to find our way up to a wide seated position. So gently help yourself up, scoot your butt back, step your feet to a nice wide configuration. And then we want to find a little action with the toes. So think about pulling your pinky toes back so the inner thighs stay nice and engaged. Ball out in front of you. And now we're going to think hip hinge. So we're going to keep our legs active, pinky toes pulling back. And then we're going to reach to the ball, lean the chest forward, just to the point where you feel a stretch in the inner thigh and the groin. So that's what we're shooting to find here. Pinky toes actively pulling back, nice long spine, lean just as far as feels like a good sensation, and then pause there. Take 3 nice big breaths. Beautiful. Walk yourself back up slowly. And now we're going to take the right leg, swing it in, swing the left leg out. So we're coming into a little bit of a zigzag seat or a little 90-90. So right leg in front, left leg out to the side. And then with the ball in front of you, we're going to just walk it back out again. So we're going to find that nice long extension of the spine, reach through the arms, just go as far as feels good. Here you might find a little sensation, inner thigh, outside of the glutes, and that outer edge of the hip. One more breath. With control, pull the abdominal muscles in, draw your ribs back to come up, and then we're going to swing the legs out and around to the other side. So now left leg is going to be in front, right leg out to the side. So we got that zigzag seat set up. And then once you've got yourself there, back to the ball, hands on the ball, lean yourself forward just to a point that feels like a good sensation. If there's anything that goes on with the knees, this might not be the position for you, but so just make sure you keep it light and safe. Nicely done. One more breath. And then think about pulling the ribs back. So the abdominal muscles pull in nice and strong. And now we're going to come into a high kneel so that we can place our elbows onto the ball. So come up into that high kneel position. Double cushion your knees if you need that little extra bit of support. But now we're going to bring our elbows onto the ball. And then here's where we just get a little bit fancy and rearrange that ball to a position that feels good to you. So you want to be able to sort of drop the chest down and get a stretch in that upper back body. So put your elbows on the ball as wide as feels right to you or as close as feels right to you, and give yourself a second to find it. And then once you're there, let your chest be heavy, soften the back of your neck. Nice job. One more breath. Cool. Now to come up and out, pull the abdominal muscles in, broaden your ribs in the back of the body, come up nice and slow and controlled. Nicely done. Hands on the ball. Step one foot up and then the other. Walk it right back to your down dog. Hands on the ball. Find that upside down V shape. Make enough space for your head to drop between your arms and take 3 nice big breaths. Beautiful. One more breath. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, pull that ball toward you. We're going to sit on the ball and just stretch the head and the neck. So come into a seated position, feet as wide as feels secure on the ground. And then just make sure you have that nice upright lifted spine. We're going to drop the left ear over to the left shoulder. Let your ear get nice and heavy. And if it feels good to do so, just take a second to close your eyes down. And then we're going to take the right hand and just reach to the side of the ball and maybe even slightly back. So we want to find a little length through the side of the neck, the shoulder. Take one more breath. Awesome. Release that hand, lift your head to a neutral position, but then turn it and look over the shoulder. So a little bit more active position. You're actively turning the head. You might feel the muscles in your neck fire up. Take one good breath. Release your head back to neutral, and then we're going to take it to the other side. So right ear is going to drop to the right shoulder. If you like, for a moment, close your eyes down. Nice. And then if you want that little extra bit of work, you're going to take that left hand, reach it to the side of the ball and maybe slightly back just so you get that nice little bit of length and opening through the shoulder and the side of the neck. Beautiful. Release your hand, lift your head to neutral, and then turn your head, look over the right shoulder. Awesome. And then bring your head back to center. And this is a really small mindful movement. So you're going to turn your head in circles, little 1-inch circles in the air with your nose. So it's really small. It's not a big crank of the head around. It's really small, super mindful. Hopefully you're inviting some softness into your neck, into your jaw, and maybe you even feel a little bit in the sinuses in your cheeks. So if you like, close your eyes down for a moment and just notice where in your body you feel that gentle softening sensation. And then if you've got those circles going, reverse directions, go the other way. Nice. And then let your head come to stillness and come back to that gentle bounce. Take about 3 nice big breaths. And as you just find that nice rhythmic bounce, maybe you even notice that sensation of bouncing in your breath. One more good bounce, and then we're going to lean forward slightly. Hands are going to find the floor in front of you, and we're going to take 3 more butt lifts. So we're going to let the hands find the floor, lift your butt away from the ball, dip your butt back down. Lift your butt up away from the ball, and dip your butt back down. Last one, we're going to lift the butt up away from the ball. Stay lifted, let your head drop down. Take a nice big breath. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing nice and slow and controlled. You guys are incredible. Nice work today. Be sure to drink plenty of water after all that work.